Fading rays of Tuesday afternoon. We're here to talk about Warwick Farm, which looks an attractive card tomorrow, and one that won't see James McDonald participating.
Yes, new news there.
Hot off the presses,
Yeah.
He stood himself down. So watch this space. Obviously.
A good betting program, Mike.
Very good betting program. The rail's out 3 metres, which is an honest position at Warwick Farm, perhaps a bit on pace. Track's pretty dry. And we kick off with a scream in the park. Race 1 is a, hang on, you can have that. Race 1 is a 3-year-old Colton Geldings maiden over 1200 metres. $3.60 Calander, who I'm keen to talk with Gord about. $5 Made in China, $5 Wayanka, $7 Yeah Bravo, $8.50 the unraced stablemate Our Back, $11 Ready for Success, $14 Polaris Jack. At Calander, Made in China and Wayanka underneath them going forward. They're the three in the van here. Now Gord, look, we've talked a lot about Snowden trials. I wonder why he's only gone the short course trial for this opening favourite here.
When I first started looking at the race, I was absolutely caught with the
Torn?
No, 2 wins, 2 trials, Chris Waller.
Yes.
Are those times right?
Yes.
It was pushed out as best as it could do.
Right.
So I had to be against it.
Okay, well the
That's
market's
number
against
one.
it as well. That's $8.50. It's not even 1, 2, 3. It's 5th pick in a field of 7.
Okay, I thought I was going to struggle with this race, and the more I looked at it, the more I actually came upon the Snowden horse, number 2, Calander.
Right.
If you notice, it ran against Alluvian at Hawkesbury last start. I have a bit of an opinion of Alluvian.
Yeah.
It was over 1,000 metres. It was super strong late, and a pet hate of mine is the short trial, but it was stylish. It was clearly the best trialer in that particular race.
Yeah,
and you're talking about Kings of War, which was actually touted as a 2-year-old group horse.
He was the stablemate of this horse. But he's also 1,000 metres up to 1,200, so he's under.
I think it's suiting him better. Yeah. The as far as his style of racing is concerned, it suits him better. As far as the 735 metre trial is concerned, well, it doesn't quite suit. So
yeah.
I'm in a bit of a quandary there, but the more I looked at this race, the more I thought this is clearly the best horse in the race, and it'll overcome said obstacles.
Well, it's certainly got the best run in the race. As I say, my problem is the run's over 1,000 metres, which doesn't match a 1,200 metre race, and the preparation looks strange.
Yep.
But you know, like the city form. Made in China Polaris Jack. Well, I know Gibraltar has won again since, but that looks dodgy form. Ready for Success is at 2 runs at 14, back to 1,200 metres. And then the other 2 Waller horses that come out of the provincial maidens, well, they're coming out of really poor provincial maidens.
Very poor provincial maidens, but interesting jockey selections there.
Yeah, he's going, look, we're having a throw at this race, so we need the very best jockeys to extract the maximum out of those 2 runners. I'm with number 1, who has done little wrong in its 2 trials and strikes a form setup that's lacking in substance.
I'm reasonably keen on number 2 here, Calander. I'm definitely going to be backing it.
Race 2 is a mile for 3-year-olds. Interesting race. $2.80 Black on Gold, $3.50 Jemadar, $5 Safari Trail, $6.50 Crown Him, $10 How Sweet It Is, and $26 the Ruffy Valentino Rossa. Now, Fiery Trail led from an inside gate at Randwick. He loses the blinkers going up in distance, but I say the intention will be the same. Jemadar is coming home, got the blinkers on, obviously a 3-year-old that would raced against the older horses last time and the time before. He can be in the van, obviously. He's got the pace to be there. How Sweet It Is not far away. Crown Him led at Canterbury in a dawdle from gate 1. I can't see him leading from gate 6. Black on Gold obviously sits just off the speed. Mile, it's all right, isn't it? It's 3-year-olds.
It's all right for me. I actually am quite interested in this race. I thought they got the price wrong about number 2, Crown Him.
Yeah.
It's 4th up, 1,600
Has it been
metres.
longer, has it?
No. I'm saying tomorrow it's going to be shorter.
Okay.
Yeah. If you notice last preparation, it was running round in, say, the Ferniel handicap against Prized Icon over 1600 metres at Ramley. This is a strong horse. This is a strong horse. It actually finished in front of Lasqueti Spirit. There you go. Is it Lasqueti Spirit?
Spirit,
there you go. Well, that form's
well,
been frank, doesn't it,
Spirit, wouldn't it be tight in this race?
So yeah, I thought they got it wrong with it. I think that stable is a very good stable. There's no problem with fourth up with that particular stable. I mean, we've talked previously about we don't know whether Shin's with us or not, but I hope he is, because I found a lot of his horses tomorrow.
I don't think you can assume that he isn't. Look, maybe Glenn knows more than us, but
yeah.
I would have to be shown a bit more before I was against Shin. Any dangers, Gord?
Number 6, Black on Gold. It's a horse I've always had an opinion of, but I gave it a negative for last start. I know it was so strong late. You know, like over the last 100 metres, it took lengths off the rest of the field, like your designated leader tomorrow. But it's Hugh Bowman on board. They obviously have a bit of an opinion of this horse. I mean, I think $3. I never take $3 on suspicion. You know
Seems
what I mean?
a tight price.
Yeah. And the fact that it was actually ridden quite aggressively to maintain contact, which is something that I sort of dislike as well. So, yes, I admit it. That's a good winning opportunity.
We'll be seeing this horse over lots more ground.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, quandaries with this race. I'm with Fiery Trail, but I can see that Black on Gold is actually handbraking it. Jemadar, I'm not really impressed with the races he's coming out of. I realise he sat deep on the speed and boxed on very strongly, but it's a yucky older horse field. So he's coming back to his own age for actually the first time.
And it's fourth up John O'Shea.
Yeah,
that's
and
borderline
and the boy
pen.
on. And throwing the blinkers on. We had Paul Daly talk about O'Shea experimenting with gear late in the preparation. So I'd definitely be against him, and I think that he and Black and Gold are horses that obviously present well for this race, but both have issues.
Crown Him has the best form.
Well, I didn't see that. I mean, you look at 2 starts back and you go, well, his 20's running nowhere, albeit in a Saturday race. It's just like last start was nothing.
Albeit a Saturday race happens to be the best form race that
I know,
ever
but he did.
existed.
He got round last.
And came out and won next start.
Yeah, okay. I think this is stronger. Race 3 is a 1,200 metre race for 3-year-old fillies. And Non-Pareil, who'll be minus James McDonald, is $2.65. What is next in the market? It's $8.50 Moccasin Miss, $9 Once More a Lady, $9.50 My True Love, $11 Come On Vogue, $13 Gay Time Girl, $15 She's Magical, $17 Flying DJ. You've got Portelli and you've got 2 Waterhouse runners with blinkers on. There's straight away 3 horses that are going to be straight into it. Come On Vogue's got the blinkers on and ran in a fast race at Beaumont, so she'll be right there as well.
If you have fitness gear like that on, you shouldn't be going for a walk. You should be jogging.
Depends on if you need to be looked at.
She's got a very good body.
Where's Glenn when you need him? Gordon, well, you've got a good handle on this Non-Pareil, who's been back to the trials since she had a dipsy doodle at Gosford.
Well, I was going to ask you the same question because, I'm massive on form lines, and this just has the optimum form lines. I thought I was going to try and go against it, and then I watched that trial, and it actually was quite impressive. That was a nice trial.
And oh my God, how successful have everywhere I look, except I unfortunately fell into Sizzling Gaze in a big way on Sunday and got no return for it. But the trials between runs have just been dynamic.
Absolutely dynamic. It's a fantastic thing. The thing is, you should do it on a stable perspective. O'Shea's not one of those that does it all the time. I think this horse might be ready to go, but what else did you say, $2.60?
Yeah.
Seems quite well found in the market. I was going to have a play at a couple of things longer, And I was just hoping that Nonpareil would blow anywhere over $3. I'll be backing
Okay.
it. Yeah. So I have it on top, but I'm also looking at number 5, Moccasin Miss. Dean Panya to Ty England. I think Dean Panya off is going to be quite solid in the near future. Comes out of decent form lines there. I know
What are you
fantastic
saying?
man.
She's the Winona Costa in 6 months' time.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. And we need to get in before the market gets in and
Right, okay.
take advantage of these things. A decent run last start, wasn't it? What did you think? It was against Zumbelina, which has since come out and reasonably franked the form, although you disagree about the quality of that race. But,
Well, it's always arguable, isn't it? I mean, Zumbelina has won by a big space at her next start, so that would suggest that that's factored into the price of Moccasin Miss.
yeah, and the only one that I'm definitely going to be backing is number 11. She's magical. I like Avdallah on board. I just love his strength at the moment. Particularly with these ones that are a little bit iffy. I think he can actually get him to rise, and it's done nothing wrong. It had no chances first start. It was in the wrong part of the track.
No.
It was actually the best of anything that went inside on that particular occasion. And if you notice in its trial, which obviously is a pet hate of mine, only the 803 metre trial, but if you notice
If it was 804, it'll be all right.
No. It'd have to be over the 1,000 mark. It's way short.
No, 900 would be just enough, wouldn't it? Like 900 if you...
I love the 1,000 metre trials, Mark. I'm just
Yeah, I
nuts
know,
for them,
but you only get 1050s at Randwick. I suppose you get 1030s at Rosehill. I shouldn't
By the way,
labour that point.
without being pushed out 200 or 300 metres past the post, She's Magical was about 3 or 4 lengths clear of the field.
Wow.
It was
okay.
quite impressive. And 1,000 metres in its only start, I think the 1,200 will suit, particularly when I saw that trial and how strong it was late, even under a tight grip.
Yep. Okay.
So that's I think it's quite long odds, isn't it? So
$15.
$15. That's one I'll definitely. Clearly, I have Nonpareil on top, but I'm definitely going to be backing number 11, and whether I back one of the other two, Moccasin Miss on Nonpareil, will be price orientated.
Okay, clearly Nonpareil gets another chance. I have been waiting for My True Love to debut because I loved the look of her first up trial, and then she ran into a very hot trial subsequently, and starts out with the blinkers on.
I didn't like the 1,200 metres. I thought I would find her over 1,000, but not 1,200.
Well,
because she was so weak late in that trial. I know it was hot, but
yeah. Well, there you go. Let's see how she goes tomorrow against her own sex and age. My True Love, I'd suggest, obviously Moccasin Miss, and that will do me. Perhaps an honourable mention to number 1, who did run in quite a hot provincial maiden on debut. And we'll knock the stayers off guard before we break.
Yep.
Because I know this will be a race that you particularly savour. I got into this and I just
oh
went,
god,
yes.
oh god, this is going to be your special, isn't it, Mark? For sure.
No.
No?
No, it's not. Okay, $4.60 Brassy Bell. $5.50 Maven Whiz back from Melbourne. $6.50 Schooner. $7 Mysticism. $8 Aspen Star. $13 Sworn to Silence. $13 Grand Allowance. 20s and longer the rest. It looks keen. You've got Aspen Star stepping up from a mile to 22, drawn gate 1. We'll hop out and be there. Maven Whiz ditto. Retune is an on-pacer from the north. Schooner raced back in the field the other day at Beaumont, but would like a handy position, I think. Brassy Bell will certainly be in the van. And Attaboy Ross has run out of his skin by leading at the last two at 1900 at Canterbury. Mysticism ridden forward the other day over 2000, perhaps a shade more conservative tomorrow. Sworn to Silence not far away, and Law Major looks a dour thing that perhaps needs to be up there. So I only have Grand Allowance and the despised Barney Rubble out the back. Have you got anything to say here? Anything to offer your multitude of fans?
Well, the thing that comes out of the best race is number 1, but I've got to pen it because back from Melbourne. But then
can't you just start
I must admit I'm being a bit hypocritical there because I found one of those horses later on in the program, which I'm very keen on.
How do you live with the hypocrisy?
easily.
Well, the weird
as long
thing,
as my
weird
wallet
thing
gets
is,
fatter.
the weird thing is that, so you go, I did think that there was a case for not penning this horse, so when it runs well, you go, perhaps I didn't need to pen that. And then when it loses and the later one loses, you go, well, of course I knew to pen that
No,
horse.
I know. Yeah,
It's so vexing.
well,
You have to make a decision.
I think it's easier to stamp it on a Saturday because of the quality of racing.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday, you've got to look a little bit more closely at situations
It's
like
not
that.
not as easy a decision.
Me, $33 no bet. At least number 8 is lightly raced with a good win ratio. Comes out of that magnificent country classic.
Gee, it's well enough found for mine, given
What
that it
price
hasn't
was
had
it?
$7.
Okay,
It hasn't
that's
had
pretty
a
well
proper city run. Look, Maven Wiz did go to Melbourne last start. That's a black mark against it, but its run 2 starts back in the city was very good. Schooner, his city form's poor. Ground allowance is 9 years old. Brassy Bell's been banging around at the provincials and looked to have her race the other day, but looks to get another chance with Bowman here. Mysticism we've talked about, and then we come to the impeccable record. What is it, Gord? 1 from
20 starts.
1. Is it only 20 starts?
Yeah.
Sworn to silence. Here it is. Here you are, baby. 1 win, 5 placings, 20 starts.
And you've got it. You found it.
Well, I have. I tried to resist, but it was just irresistible, that record, Gord. Gun. It's had to run over the
You've
trip.
been contrary, Mark.
Look, this is its first preparation for Joe Pride, and look at it. It's found winnable races its last 2 and failed to win, so you've got to love that. Home you go, Swarm to Silence, who I'll be backing, but obviously don't hold your breath.
No, I think I might back it.
What, the Goulburn gets you in? Last start country?
J4 to Brendan Avdola, right stage of its prep.
It's a very even race, and I did think that price was perhaps just a little bit skewed. That's the end of part 1. We'll be back with the last 3 races at this very exciting Warwick Farm program tomorrow after this break.